Hey y'all, today we're going to be covering external and internal stimuli. So I need you to open your science notebooks and head to page 37. Go ahead and label it page 37 if you haven't. The heading should say external and internal stimuli. I'm going to need you to write pretty small today because we will be writing our I will statement and there's two parts of it and it's pretty long. So please write small. If not, please use the first couple of lines in here for sure, maybe one or two lines, but that's about it. All right, the first part says, I will investigate how organisms respond to external stimuli found in the environment, such as phototropism and fight or flight. If you need more time, please pause this video. The second part says, describe and relate responses in organisms that may result from internal stimuli, such as wilting in plants and fever, or vomiting in animals that allow them to maintain balance. All right, so today we're going to be using a thinking map, I should say, and that thinking map is our cause and effects thinking map. If you haven't ever used the cause and effect thinking map, I'm going to take you step by step to make sure that you create one according to what it's supposed to look like. So first, I need you to create a box on the top half of this page, and you're going to go ahead and write down homeostasis and external stimuli. If you remember what homeostasis is when we are trying to maintain balance. Okay? This homeostasis is referring to this balance that we were talking about in our I will statement. Okay? We're trying to stay in balance. We're trying to make sure everything in our body is working properly. So, an external stimuli, if you remember the word external, has the same prefix ex as in exit, as in something that's outside. So an external stimuli is something that's outside. Now let's break up the word stimuli. The word stimuli is regarding something that's causing a response. Okay, so if something is occurring that's getting you to respond and it's outside, our definition today is going to say change in the environment. So the environment's on the outside, and that stimuli is the change. Okay, so an external change is a change in the on the outside of an organism. All right, so our first example is going to be an animal breathing in toxins. So go ahead and make another box, label it number 1, write down animals breathe toxins, and go ahead and draw an arrow and point towards homeostasis and external stimuli. So, as an animal breathes in toxin, it's looking to maintain balance, it's maintaining homeostasis. Okay, so the external thing that happened, the change that happened on the outside, was the toxins that he or she breathed in. The response, the effect, was that the animal coughed. So go ahead and make an arrow pointing to another box that says, number 1, animal coughs. So your cause was the toxins that were breathed in by an animal, and the effect was the animal coughing. All right. Number 2, a bear feels the cooling temperatures. That is a cause. Draw an arrow to homeostasis. How is this bear going to maintain balance? The change was the cooling temperatures. So now the bear has to maintain balance, and that is the bear begins to hibernate. Okay? So the bear feels the cold temperatures. The external stimuli was the cold temperatures. How does it maintain balance? By hibernating. Third example, the sun changes position, okay, across the sky. It appears as if it's moving across the sky. In reality, it's Earth's spin. how or what happens to maintain balance thanks to this external stimuli? Well, in the case of a plant, the plant is going to keep growing towards the light. And this is something that we call phototropism. Okay? Phototropism means photo means light, tropism means response. Next, I need you to draw another box very similar to the top box, but the difference is this time it says homeostasis and internal stimuli. So if external was on the outside, internal means it's on the inside. The word in, the prefix in means on the inside. All right, this time you're going to write down change within organism. So this is a change not in the environment, not on the outside, not on the exterior, not on something's external side. This time it's on the inside, within. So our first example is an organism has an infection. So create a box, write down number 1, organism has an infection. Draw an arrow. How is that organism going to maintain balance because of this internal stimuli, because of this infection on the inside of this organism? Well, it has a fever, it raises the temperature so that this infection can be can get this organism can get rid of the infection. Our second example is a human getting food poisoning. Okay, so when a human gets food poisoning, how does it maintain balance? Because of this internal stimuli. The food poisoning is already in your stomach, you're feeling bad. And the way that we get food poisoning out of our system, or how we maintain homeostasis, is by vomiting. The stomach gets rid of everything in it inside of it so it can clear the path towards homeostasis. We're trying to maintain balance. We're trying to make sure that we survive. Third example is plants living in a drought area. Okay, so if a plant lives in a drought area, in an area that doesn't get a lot of rain or has these seasons of no rain or little rain, how does it maintain homeostasis? How does it maintain balance? Well, it begins to wilt, it begins to droop, it begins to fall because if you remember from our cell talk, our cell lessons, we talked about the cell wall needing some water, and if the plant doesn't have enough water, it begins to wilt. All right. The last thing we are going to write down to finish up with our thinking map is going to be our so what and so why. And I know a couple of y'all keep asking, what is the so what? The so what is, what are we learning today? So give me a quick summary, a sentence or two of what you learned today. All right. And this should be closely related to what we wrote down on the top. What are you learning about external stimuli and internal? What is this entire chart right here? What is this entire thinking map about? So that's the so what. The so why is, why is this important? Why are you learning? Well, you're learning about something causes the organisms to do something else, to react. There's an effect. Okay? So for any effect, anything that's going on, this reaction, there's a reason why, and that's the cause. All right? So this is the why. So give me 1 or 2 sentences about that. All right? That is it for today.